Hi everyone, this is Anna Finch from Finch Press Publishing. I hope everyone's had a good day. Now, I'm wearing this because everyone has now woken up at home and is making a lot of noise. And in order to record this, I need to actually have my headset on. Now, this video is about self-publishing in Australia and some of the options there are for self-publishing and what's actually involved in those particular options. Part of the reason why I'm doing this is that a lot of videos about self-publishing and about the distribution and about the companies are from American authors or British authors, and the publishing industry in those countries are completely different. The options available and what's involved is completely different for all of those countries. So I'm going to focus mainly on the different streams and options that you can use in order to publish in Australia or from another country, because it applies. So, I'm going to start with number one, Ingram Spark. Ingram Spark is probably the most common option people when self-publishing choose. It's the option I'm choosing. Now, Ingram Spark is a publisher, a print-on-demand company, and a distributor. So you upload your books, you have to pay a fee. So you upload your books and they will print it and distribute it to different companies that they have deals with. Now, with Ingram Spark, some things you have to know. You can set up an account for free. So this is like an account with all your details before you publish. So you can set this up for free. So this is as a publisher and as a retailer. You need an email account in order to sign up for a free account. You need to sign an agreement saying, yes, I want this person to distribute my books or products. And you need payment info. So this is things like bank account details or PayPal. PayPal, I think, is one of the options, but bank account details. What else? Tax file numbers, ABNs, that sort of thing. When you upload your book or books to Ingram, you are required to pay a fee. Now, the fees on their site are in American dollars. So if you're like me and you live in Australia, the dollar's currently low, so you will pay more than $49. So with that, so $49 is for print only or for print and ebook. This is US dollars. So you have three options to pick from. You got ebook only, you got print only, and you got print and ebook. Ebook only, I think, is $29 US. Print and ebook is $49, and print only is $49. Let's round it up to $50 and $30. So $50 for print and ebook, or just print. Now, in Australian dollars, that is about $70 at the moment. So it's about $65 to $70 in Australian dollars, which means in British pounds, it's about £45. £45, I think, because it's about half of us. So $60, £30. Oh no, actually £35 roughly. So you need to actually know the currency conversion because it will be pretty expensive. Now, you pay the one fee to set up your book, to put your book on there. If, for example, you upload it, you print a proof copy arrives, you open it and you realize, oh my god, the formatting is all wrong, or the formatting didn't translate properly. You need to remove the book, reformat it, put it back up. They charge you about a $25 fee to remove it, revise it, and re-upload it. Again, that's in US dollars. So every time you make a mistake, you have to pay about 25 US, which is 40-ish Australian dollars, 30, 40, about 40-ish Australian dollars each time. So if you make mistake after mistake after mistake, or you make a mistake in the forms when you upload it, or you make a mistake in the actual blurb, or there's spelling errors or whatever, it will add up. You could spend thousands of dollars just fixing a mistake, and that's super expensive. Now, with the only positive is that there are ways to remove that fee. If you participate in NaNoWriMo, the November NaNoWriMo, I don't know about camp. I will know if you get the same option if you win camp NaNoWriMo. But I know for the NaNoWriMo in November, so National Novel Writing Month, the winners of NaNoWriMo get a code that they can use to upload their book for free to Ingram Spark. So you don't pay, if you have that code, you don't pay to upload your book, and you also don't pay for any revisions. Now, there are, like with that, you need to upload it and make sure all the revisions are done between November and the end of March. After March, you'll be paying the fee to revise it. But for between November and March, NaNoWriMo basically if you participate in NaNoWriMo, the code covers that fee. There's also an online self-publishing company, I'll see if I can get it up on this, that does online videos and professional development for publishers and writers. Pretty sure it's called Self-Publish Online. I'm pretty sure it's this. Okay, I think I've got it. So there's this thing called SelfPubCon, or the Self-Publishing Conference. You go to selfpublishingadviceconference.com, and they have an online conference that runs about twice a year. Now, they have, so Ingram Spark is a sponsor, and they actually give people who do the self-publishing conference, if you sign up, then you can access the code, which is a free title setup on print and ebooks. Now, means you don't have to pay the fee. Now it says free title setup on this. I'm pretty sure it also includes revisions. Let me just check. I'm pretty sure it's just to upload. So you can upload for free, but I'm pretty sure you still have to pay for the revisions, which is still good. So this conference happens twice a year. The one for the first half of the year is already finished, but there's another one that's coming up, probably in about July, August-ish. I would recommend you have a look, because it's worth it if you're going to self-publish. A couple other things: you need to have your own ISBN in order to publish through Ingram. With ebooks, you only get 40% royalties, even if they send your book to Kobo, which gives you about 70% royalties. Even if they send it to Kobo, you are only going to get 40% of the royalty, which is better than Amazon's 35%, but not as good as Kobo's 70%. For print, you are basically asked to discount your book wholesale between about 30% and 55% in order to sell your print book, and you discount that in order to sell it to, say, a bookstore. The bookstore gets a 55% discount. Let's do 50%. So say you're selling your book for $20. The bookstore will buy it for $10. And from that $10, they will take out the printing cost. So if the printing cost is $6, you are only going to get $4 in royalty, which is better than what you get traditionally published. Traditionally published books will probably get about 40 cents per book. Another thing is you can opt out of Apple and Amazon only. You can't opt out of any other distributor. So if you want to publish directly with Kobo, which is what I want to do, if you want to publish directly with Kobo as well as doing print and other ebooks, then they will not let you opt out of Kobo. They will send your book to Kobo if you do ebook, which means I can't do the ebook with Ingram, and I have to use another provider. Number 2, Kobo. Now, with Kobo, it is free to set up an account. It is free to upload your ebook and your audiobook. So you can actually do ebook and audio. I've asked, and there are no restrictions on uploading an audio. If, unlike ACX, which is Audible or Amazon, where publishing audiobooks, self-publishing them, is limited to the US, Canada, and the UK, Kobo, no limit. If you're in Australia, New Zealand, Sudan, if you want to upload an audiobook, you can upload it based on what they've said, and there are no restrictions, which is a massive plus because I would like to do an audiobook eventually. You are paid 45 days after the end of each month, so about 5 weeks. Every 5 weeks you'll be paid. So say you sold 10 books in March, then you will get paid in May-ish. Now, they do have a specific threshold for payment. So in order to be paid 45 days at the end of each month, you need to have made $60 Australian in order for them to transfer it, or $50 Canadian, I think about $50 US. It depends on what currency you use for your account. You can run promotions on Kobo. So Kobo runs promotions itself. You can apply to have your book on that promotion, say it's for National Women's Day or for Mental Health Day or something like that. you can apply to have your book on that particular promotion to boost sales. You can also run your own promotions. And like if you want to do 1 week to celebrate Autism Awareness Day. So for that week, you want to put your ebook for $2 or $1.99. Then you can do that, and you can set it for that price for that week. Ingram? No. With Ingram, they've lessened the time in order to change your pricing, which is a plus. But it takes a week for them to change the price. And if you have to change, if you're only going to run a promotion for a week, it's then going to take another week to change it back, from what I've seen. And it's too much trouble messing around. But with this, you can set your promo for a week and say, oh, okay, I want to sell this book for $1.99 between this day and this date, and it will set it up, and it's fine. You get, this is some more pluses, you get 70% royalty, so 70% of the list price. If your book is more than $2.99 Australian, US, or £1.99 in the UK. So as long as it's above that, you get 70% royalty. If it's under that price, so say you were doing a promotion for 99 cents, then you will only get 45% royalty, which is still better than Amazon's 35%. So say you sell a book for $1.99, you get 45% royalty, you'll get about 89 cents from that, which is still good when it comes to ebook. Audiobooks, you get 45% royalty if it's more than $3, basically, or $2.99. If it's more than $2.99, you get 45% royalty. If it's less than $2.99, you get 35%, which is still good. And if it's for subscription, you get 32% of the subscription price, which is good. Another plus, when you are signing up for Kobo, you sign up for your own country's thing. So in Australia, if you're doing self-publishing, you need an ABN, so Australian business number. You need a tax file number, an individual tax file number. If you have employees or contractors, then you would need a business tax file number. So you need ABN, TFN, business account, that's it. And you only need that one for Australia. Or for the US, you use whatever US forms you do. But for Kobo, you only fill in the forms based on what your country requires. You do not have to register for GST in Australia, and they don't require you to register it for Kobo. Okay. Number 3, Apple. The problem with Apple, or publishing directly with Apple, is they follow the US structure when it comes to forms. Now, you need to create, in order to set up an account, you need an Apple ID and other documents for the business. So Apple ID, a couple other forms you need to fill in to publish with Apple iBooks. You need to complete form WEBN or EBNE, which is to say you're a foreign agent or person who is publishing or earning money in America. You need an ABN, so on top of that, you need an ABN, so an Australian business number. If you're in Australia, you need GST registration. They actually require you to do GST, whereas Australian government doesn't require you to do GST or GST registration unless you earn more than $75,000 a year. But they require you to have that and a tax file number. If you register for GST, it will affect your tax. Same with the W8BEN form. you pay tax in America, and then you'll probably end up paying tax in Australia, which is ridiculous. They don't positives. You get 70% royalty, 70% of the list price. Some more negatives. You need approval from Apple to do print and TV ads. You can't mention other platforms in the same ad. So if you're running a promotion on Apple, Kobo, and Amazon Kindle, you can only mention Apple. You can't mention Amazon and Kobo in the same ad. You can't. Which is why I'm not selling it with Apple. You also need to have $150 US in order to get paid. So if it takes 6 months for you to get that amount of money, well, you're not getting paid for 6 months. Another company is Draft to Digital. Now, Draft to Digital is for ebooks only, and I'm planning on using that for publishing my ebook, because it allows me to opt out of whatever platforms that I want. So if I don't want to publish on Amazon, then it won't publish on Amazon. I mean, I am, but that's just an example. You can pick and choose which platforms you want to publish on. The royalty is about... I'm pretty sure the royalty is about 70% as well. More than that, actually. You get a higher royalty. Okay. Okay, so Draft to Digital, it allows you to publish your books for free. You can basically set your book to free, and Draft to Digital will make no profit. So they only get paid if you sell and you charge something. So they make a small percentage of your book sales. So the fee is approximately 10% of the retail price, so about 15% of net royalties. So if your royalties, say you get $5 royalty, they only make a couple of dollars from that, which is good. So you get about 70% plus royalty, which is really good. The Draft to Digital, there's a couple of options on how to get paid. So you can do check, PayPal, direct deposit, Pioneer, which is similar to PayPal. They do have a minimum threshold. So $100 for checks, $20 for Pioneer, $10 for international deposit, and $0 for any other digital payments. So if you do PayPal, then if you make $2, then they will put $2 in your PayPal account. And they deliver payments once a month, which is good. So you get paid every month with Draft to Digital. You can do pre-order on Draft to Digital. You can set promotions for a particular week. They can, if you don't set the territorial prices for the promotion, it'll convert the US price into local currencies. And I suggest you actually work out how much it roughly is, or to set your own prices for other companies. Draft Digital also provides free conversion into EPUB or Mobi and PDF. So if you can't afford a formatting or converter, you can use this. There's no particular style guide on how to actually set up your book. They've got they're partners with Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, Kobo, Tolina, Overdrive, Biblioteca, Scribd, 24 Symbols, Baker & Taylor, Hoopla. You can choose who to distribute. They do. Okay, so if you do, if they ever do like a wholesaler pricing model, so if you submit to a channel that uses whole pricing, your royalty will be based on the suggested retail price sent to the retailer. So even if the retailer lowers their price, the royalty will be calculated on the retail price. So if you say your book's $5, then but the retailer says, "Oh no, I want to charge $3," you'll still get a royalty from the $5, not the $3. Takes a few minutes to upload and set your book. It'll show up within a couple of days after you publish, generally, max 2 weeks. They assign ISBNs automatically to anything published. Now, it just means that Draft Digital will be the publisher of the record. So if you have an ISBN, you can use it. Now, with the ISBNs, you can, when you use it, technically you need one for each format. But if you're using a print book, if you've got a print copy, so normal size, you've got large print, and you've got an ebook, you would need one for each. But if you just have like the EPUB file, then you just need one ISBN for the EPUB file, not for every single format of EPUB, because it's the same thing, it's just literally a different version of the file. They also offer an affiliate program. Yeah. Now, when setting up, you will need to fill in that W8BEN form, or BENE form. This is so you can access the treaty between Australia and America. Because Australia, if you don't fill in this form, especially if you're from Australia, it basically means that you're going to 30% of your profit is going to be held by Draft Digital and sent to the US tax. 30%, which is a lot, especially if you don't, especially as a self-publisher. Now, with Australia, they've got a treaty with the US, so instead of 30%, I think it's 10% that's held and sent to the tax agent, which is a lot better. Problem is, you still need to pay tax both in the US, so they take the percentage for the US, and you will probably need to pay tax again here in Australia. And that's pretty much the only downside, but they would need an ABN tax file number and that form, pretty much, and it's pretty easy. Lulu's pretty similar to that, which also does print and ebooks. Google, which is you can publish directly with. They're a bit more tricky. I mean, you would need that form again, and you would need to fill in a whole bunch of other things, and I looked at it, it is, for someone in Australia, it's way too difficult. If you're in the US, publishing directly with Google is a lot easier. Anyway, that's pretty much just the different options for self-publishing for people in Australia or in other countries. Some downsides and some positives, and what's involved with publishing with them. When I do publish, I'll do a review on the services, but for now it's just like an overview. Alright, see you next time.